In a move that has sparked widespread outrage and debate, the U.S. government has announced plans to drastically reduce the number of refugees it will accept next year to a mere 7,500, a staggering drop from previous years. But here's where it gets controversial. The majority of these spots will be reserved for white South Africans, raising serious questions about the priorities and motivations behind this decision. This shift comes after decades of the U.S. welcoming hundreds of thousands of refugees fleeing war, persecution, and violence from around the globe. So, what's changed, and why now? The announcement, published on Thursday in the Federal Registry, provided no clear justification for the reduction, which is a dramatic decrease from the 125,000 cap set under the Biden administration. And this is the part most people miss. The decision was quietly foreshadowed earlier this year when leaked documents revealed the administration's plans to prioritize white South Africans. The official memo simply stated that the admission of 7,500 refugees in the 2026 fiscal year was justified by humanitarian concerns or is otherwise in the national interest, leaving many to wonder about the true rationale. Refugee organizations were quick to condemn the move. The International Refugee Assistance Project bluntly stated, "This determination makes it painfully clear that the administration values politics over protection." They highlighted the irony of privileging one group while leaving thousands of already vetted and approved refugees in perilous situations. Krishomara Vignaraja, CEO of Global Refuge, added, "This decision doesn't just lower the refugee admissions ceiling, it lowers our moral standing." For decades, the U.S. refugee program has been a beacon of hope for those escaping unimaginable horrors. Now, critics argue it's being weaponized to serve a narrow political agenda. Here's where it gets even more contentious. In February, former President Trump signed an executive order cutting financial aid to South Africa, accusing its black-led government of unjust racial discrimination against white Afrikaners, a minority group descended from Dutch and French colonial settlers. The administration has repeatedly claimed that South Africa's new land expropriation law unfairly targets Afrikaners, despite the South African government denying these allegations and calling them baseless. Meanwhile, statistics show that white individuals, who make up just 7.3% of South Africa's population, own 72% of the country's farms and agricultural holdings, while black Africans, who constitute 81.4% of the population, own only 4% of the land. This stark disparity raises questions about the validity of claims of anti-white policies. Aaron Reichlin-Nelnick, a senior fellow at the American Immigration Council, summed it up starkly. Since 1980, the U.S. refugee program has admitted over 2 million people fleeing ethnic cleansing and other atrocities. Now it's being used as a pathway for white immigration. What a downfall for one of America's most cherished humanitarian programs. This isn't the first time the Trump administration has slashed refugee numbers. In 2020, the cap was set at 15,000, down from 18,000 the previous year. But the latest move feels different, more targeted, more divisive. Is this a legitimate humanitarian decision or a politically motivated one? And what does it say about America's commitment to global leadership in refugee protection? These are the questions that demand answers. What do you think? Is this a fair policy or a step in the wrong direction? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments.